The motto for 2025 should be expect the unexpected because every single day we wake up and there is some new chaos taking over the news. It's been that way for about a decade, but this year it seems like it's a daily occurrence where before maybe it was a couple times a month, and in previous decades these things were once in a decade, maybe even once in a lifetime situations. Well, this morning, the FBI decided to go and raid John Bolton's house. This is in connection to him having classified documents that he wasn't supposed to have. If you don't remember, he released a book, or he was writing a book a few years back, and it was to give a detailed account of his time as the White House National Security Advisor. And this book had a bunch of information that Trump was at the very least concerned about, but at very most was outright illegally obtained information that he was not supposed to have on him, that he was not supposed to release out. And because of this, a whole investigation had launched into him. Once Biden got into office, he decided to drop the investigation completely and totally. So for the last 4 years, all we could do is just sit here and wait to see if Trump was actually going to try and reignite the situation. Honestly, after what happened to him with them going after his quote unquote classified documents that he literally was able to declassify as president, I'm not surprised that this is happening. But I don't like that this is happening. This is just another escalation towards civil war. And I'm going to stay 10 toes on the idea that we are in a cold civil war right now. We are in an administrative civil war. And the more that we have our side or their side attacking people in this way, the more that we're going to be looking like a banana republic. We don't want to be Venezuela. We don't want to be Cuba. We need to avoid these very primitive political tactics. It's not going to help anybody in the long run. But that said, I have this video from Fox. I want to play that really quickly.
The Fox News alert, we're just learning the FBI agents have raided the Maryland home of former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton. It happened at 7 a.m. this morning.
Hey guys, not much we can say at this point, but information will continue to develop.
So this morning, bright and early, Kash Patel posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, that nobody is above the law. And these words are as powerful as when people are going out and saying Christ is king. Nobody is above the law. But if we're going to start levying legal warfare against political opponents, that's not just not being above the law. There are a lot of people that we should be going after. If nobody's above the law, release the Epstein files. If nobody's above the law, why aren't we going after these deep-seated, corrupted pedophiles that keep running off to Israel and being protected? If nobody is above the law, how come Epstein was able to do so many nefarious banking activities without question? Go watch Ian Carroll's most recent video to get a lot of details about that. I don't want to steal the thunder, but it's insane that we're going to have Kash come out and say nobody's above the law and restate the MAGA movement's motto, and yet we clearly have a number of people that are above the law. Ironically, just before the raid began, John Bolton had posted this tweet on X saying Russia has not changed its goal, drag Ukraine into a new Russian empire. Moscow has demanded that Ukraine cede territory it already holds and the remainder of Donetsk, which it has been unable to conquer. Zelensky will never do so. Meanwhile, meetings will continue because Trump wants a Nobel Peace Prize, but I don't see these talks making any progress. Shortly following this tweet is when the FBI raided him. Now, we don't know. Maybe he knew that he was about to be raided and he just wanted to throw out one more political shot before it. Maybe this was a scheduled tweet, although it being 7:32 a.m. when it was posted makes that questionable in my opinion. Usually you would schedule something for the top of an hour. It's definitely questionable, but I think it's more likely that John Bolton had some sort of inside source that let him know in some way that something was going to happen, even if it wasn't outright saying that you're going to be raided by the FBI. Although I don't think it's out of the question to say that he was tipped off about this. But yeah, I just wanted to give a real quick insight because a lot of people don't realize that all of this is just going back to the book that he wrote because he used to work for Trump's presidency. Actually, I have a little snippet from ChatGPT kind of explaining the situation and its liberal wokeness.
So the investigation into John Bolton was tied to his 2020 memoir, The Room Where It Happened. The Trump administration was concerned that he had disclosed classified information in the book. They claimed he didn't get final clearance before publishing it. Because of that, they tried to block the book and even opened a criminal investigation into him. Eventually, after Trump left office, the Biden administration dropped the lawsuit and no charges were filed.
I will say that the new GPT update has made it at least a little bit less woke sounding. I feel like before, if I would have asked that question, it would have went into a bunch of really long-winded explanations about why Trump is a bad person and how he was doing something illegal and how there was no justification behind his actions, and you know how that platform used to be on GPT. But yeah, this is absolutely incredible. I did not think that we were going to wake up to news like this. What's your thoughts? Do you think that we're crossing a line where we're never going to go back? Is this the Rubicon, essentially? Or are we doing justified actions? Is this what we need to do to try to save the Republic before it gets taken over completely? I'll have another video dropping later today. If you enjoy my content, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on all social media platforms at Brian D Exclusive. That's Brian with a Y. If you want to support the channel, I have a Cash App. You can donate at Brian D Exclusive. Also, Brian with a Y. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.